Hello everyone, my name is InspirAspir and welcome back to part 2 of making a Launchpad light show, a series where I simply sit down, make a light show without any jumps, cuts, edits. It's just me making a light show. Last time, I made this light show. Nope, just kidding. Here we go. Okay, so that's what I made last time, and today I'll pick up where I left off, and I'll start here. And I'll just make a light show. You can sit back, watch me, relax, and that's pretty much just the point of this. So I left off here. So I left myself some pink lights in these two corners of each of these 4x4 squares. Okay. It has been about a month since I last made this light show, so I don't really have any ideas planned out. So I'm just winging it as I go. I have an idea. I'm going to extend these pink lights. Okay. And then I'm going to start here. Ooh, one thing I wanted to point out. I had a lot of people ask me on my last video, that is on my last making a light show video, how I can quickly and easily draw in lights. And so, here's how you do it. Assuming that your Launchpad is armed for recording, you're going to want to go into your MIDI clip, and up in this top left corner, you'll see this headphone icon. Normally it's gray, which means it's off, deactivated. You don't want that. You want it to be blue. I guess this is called the MIDI editor preview. You can see on the left side of Ableton over here when I hover over it. And so what this allows Ableton to do is, if you press any buttons on your Launchpad, or I mean on any MIDI device, as long as it's receiving MIDI input, if you're pressing MIDI notes, and then you press the right arrow key on your computer, you will draw in those notes that you're holding down, wherever your cursor is. So if I were to say, if I wanted to draw in some notes here, at this point in Ableton, as long as this blue headphone icon is activated, I can press down on some notes and then press the right arrow key. And you can see down here, it just draws them in. I had a lot of people ask me how I did that in my last making a light show video, and there you go. So, trying to think what I want to do here. I have a rough idea. We'll see if this works out. I'm going to make a light that weaves in between the pink lights I have on right now. So maybe something that goes like this. This might work. Yeah. Let's try this. Okay, so I like the shape, the movement. I want it to kind of go, but then come back in reverse. So I'm just going to copy this, shorten it. Ooh, I see. It got a little messed up when I reversed it because there are some different notes with different lengths. That was to be expected. That can be fixed if I undo everything and do this. Okay. Oops. Right. So now I can copy this, shorten it, reverse it, paste it. Okay. I kind of like it. I think once we add a different color to it, and then I think if I wanted, I think I'm going to want to elongate the end, just for a subtle detail. I'm actually going to undo that so I can copy it, and then redo that because I have an idea with this next part. It will just be, I'm going to copy and paste it, and then reverse the whole thing. No, wait, inverse the whole thing. I don't think that's going to do what I want. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to copy this guy. Right. So then I'm going to have it shoot up, come down, and then have it repeat, but starting from this end again. So it's going to look, if that makes any sense. You'll see in a second. So something like this is what I was thinking. I like it. I think it's coming together. So something like that. And clearly this is just the rough beginnings of this effect. We are still missing some colors. I wonder what color would go good. Keep in mind there's some pink in these corners, so maybe I'm thinking a blue. Let's try a blue. Okay. The blue seems a bit light, and that's because these lights aren't staying on that long. The lights are going so quickly that your eye can't perceive them as fast. They're practically turning on and off almost instantly. You get the general idea of movement, the concept, but if we were to elongate these lights, maybe by even just that much, yeah, it makes it flow a little bit better as a whole, I think. And I accidentally elongated that light, didn't mean to do that. So then I think I can make the second set of lights the reverse. Maybe I can make that a different color. Perhaps maybe like a lighter blue. Again, also elongating those lights so they stay on longer. And now we're starting to get the beginnings of an interesting light effect. One thing we can do to make it flow a little bit better is drag this light out. Actually, I'm not sure how I feel about that. We'll, let's go ahead and inverse this and drag it to the other side. So it's symmetrical. The effect we just made will be evenly divided along this line, like a mirror. It'll be flipped this way and this way, X and Y horizontally, or, well, you know, axis. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that blue light that I kept on. It was an idea. Sometimes it works. This time I don't think it did. At least in my opinion. So now we got... But I definitely want to leave these lights on at the end, so we can flow into something else. So now let's see what it looks like with those pink lights that we left on. They're not turning on right now because I'm not beginning... The place I'm starting from, where I'm playing in Ableton is in the beginning of those notes. So I'm going to have to go back to here when those pink notes started. Okay. One thing I think we could do to make it a little more interesting is maybe I could make those pink lights pulse during the burp, burp. Maybe I could have them, what color are they? 57, that dark pink. I could have it go into a 58, 59, for about this long, and then have it come back on. Yeah, no, that works. Back into 57, do the same thing. So essentially repeat this pattern. Yeah, okay, so that was too long, I think. Maybe if we do this. Okay, so how about this, actually? I think this might look pretty good. Once everything's thrown together. Alright, let's check that out from the beginning. Didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. Maybe if I leave them on at a dim light. Let's try that. Oops. Okay, let's try this. Eh. Still didn't quite do what I wanted. Not sure how I could fix that. Maybe if I just leave the first burst on, but then the second burst actually pulses. I can live with that. So now we're on to here. So we're on this part. Alright. I think on the I think we're gonna have it make a wave effect. Let's see how this looks. All the way down, maybe? Let's see how this looks. So that needs to go here. It was a little out of sync with the music. I think it goes right here. And then maybe we can have this ending speed up a little bit. Okay, and then maybe it can stay on here. I don't know, guys. This is a lot of kind of trial and error. I think I explained that in my last video, or in this last part. It's just more or less trying new things. And then if they work out, cool, and if not, then you can just erase it and start again. So we're going to try this. Okay. So I think for the I'm gonna have it. Yeah, I think that'll work. I'm gonna have it go like that. Like that. Maybe you can catch on to a pattern that I'm doing. I just took each of these four and had them spin around and end up here. I think that matches the music pretty well. Let's add some color to this. It's lacking some color. So this needs to be, or well, it doesn't need to be, I would just prefer it to be the same color that it was before. The same color of the light that ended here. And then at this point, this color can be different. Maybe I could turn this one into a light blue, like a teal. And then I'm gonna copy this, inverse it. Oops. Like that. And then copy this light effect. Well, I mean, I copied it a while ago. Paste it. And then slap it in here. And then I can have this one be a different color. Maybe a darker blue. You can't really tell, can you? That's interesting. That's fine though. Okay, so now we've made it up to what could we do for here? Let's see what we made so far. Sometimes it helps to see what you've made, and then you can work from there. Okay, I'm picturing a spiral. They start in these corners, and they kind of shoot up to the or something like that. That's what I'm picturing in my mind. So we're gonna draw that rough shape in now. Just like that. Line it up so it's in sync with the music. I think I want the beginning to be fast. Maybe like this. The middle can be a normal speed. Maybe like this. And then the ending can be a little bit longer. Or maybe quicker. We'll see. Alright, I like that rough idea. I just kind of tested it to see what it would look like, to give it some dynamic range, some speed, that acceleration. But now I'm going to change some colors. So this one is currently 45, so dark blue. I think it could turn into 49, 53. So now that I drew those colors in, then I'm going to add in the speed. So all the colors have the same amount of time that they're lit up. I think the beginning should be a little bit, yeah, like that. And then the ending can be longer. Okay, so now let's work on the other side. It'll go here. The colors are gonna be a bit off, but that's fine. I mean, in theory, I could leave them that way. It looks fine. I might do that, yeah. So I'm gonna do the thing where I make them all the same length. I'm gonna do this. Highlight these guys, extend them. Perfect. And all I'm gonna do here is copy this. So this is 45, got it. So this one's, all I'm adding in now is one cycle of this light effect. That's just a light blue. And then I'm gonna copy in the remainder, so the dark blue to the pink cycle. And now I'm gonna change the speeds like I did on the other one. So like this, I believe. Perfect. And then looks like here. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm gonna shorten that. So now, at the very end of that, what we have is, it doesn't look like much was different than simply copying and pasting this side over here and then inverting it. But you can tell there's a blue, a light blue that's leading this trail because the light blue is what we left off with. So this one's, look at this light. Notice how we leave off on the light blue, and this one we have a dark blue. And then they kind of lead their own trails. It's a subtle thing, I can tell right now. If I were to slow it down, you could easily see it. So that's what it looks like slowed down. Okay, anyways, moving on. Okay. Oh, what do we have? We have... Okay, what can we do here? Trying to... Oh, wait, I might have something in mind. Okay, I think I pictured something. Have it... Okay, let's have it... These light effects in the corner kind of do a little curvy hop thing. And let's have it do it twice. And it can make it faster to sync up with the music better. A little faster than I would have liked. So maybe I can drag this out so it's a little longer, not as fast. Maybe a little bit shorter. Yeah, I think that matches what I wanted. So let's make that 53, so that pink color. Actually, you know what? Let's change it back to this length. 53. Let's change the color. Extend this, and then add in some fades for this long. And then let's change the speed. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, I kinda like it. Let's leave it, and then we'll copy this and flip it over here and then drag it right here. All right. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. All right. I didn't expect it to look that nicely. So let's see what we've made so far. Okay. So now we have this blah. We haven't really done many rainbows for this song, I don't think. So let's fix that. How does that sound? I think I'm going to have these lights, yeah. I'm gonna make it so when it does the bounce, and then bounce back, when it bounces to this corner will stay lit up. And then when it lands here, this corner will also stay lit up. So ultimately, I think it should look, it'll do the bouncy thing, but then all four corners will be lit up at the end. So, something like this. Which will allow us to make a simple rainbow effect, where it just bursts from the outside to the inside. Simple, but I think it's effective. I think it'll match the music pretty well. Okay, so now let's start making a rainbow. We start at 53, just because that's the color of the lights that was in the corner already. We'll go to a purple, because that's, I think that's the next logical step. Maybe we could go to a red and then go up, but I think this will look a little better. So right now we have, okay, perfect. It's a little fast, but that can be changed in the end. We're just cycling through our rainbow colors. After my pink, I went purple, blue, green, of course, going downwards. So I started at 53, and I just subtract 4 every time. So I went from 53 to 49, 45, 41, 37, 33, so on, so on. That's just the pattern of the rainbow lights for the Launchpad Pro. So I'm going 21. I like to skip 17 just because 17's kind of a weird looking color. I don't think it fits very well, so I'm skipping 17. Go 13, 9, and then 5. Let's see how this looks. Looks pretty good. So now we have a... I could, since I went from pink down to red, you know, pink, purple, blue, all the way down to red, I could go from red back up, or I could just copy paste what I have. So I go from pink, purple, blue, all the way down to red, and then go back to pink by copying it. We'll try that and see what it looks like. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I think that works out pretty well. Now I just copy this, drag it up here, inverse it, as we usually do, so now it's symmetrical. Okay. I'm going to drag this back half, or well, I guess 1/28th back. So that way I can do this, and then do this. Okay, so now where are we left off? We have... Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm picturing maybe some kind of quick movement to the da-da-da-da-da-da, some kind of some bouncing around and what have you. So let's try and make that. So I hear a dun for this part, and I could either make two effects that go into each other, so some kind of dun, so a quick 1-2 kind of burst punch thing, or I could have one effect but then repeat it so it kind of looks like it has a trail, and then you would just offset it by a little bit. I think I'm going to try that one just to show what I'm thinking. So maybe I can make a... Alright, I'm picturing this kind of effect. Yeah. So this... Ooh, that was not in the right spot, but that's fine. By the power of copy and paste, we don't care. So I have this. I'm going to drag it so you can see the lights, and then I'm just going to paste it, but a little bit behind it. So you get the dun. I think that works. So let's make this first one, well, red, because we ended on a red. And then maybe we can make this second one how about yellow? The red and the yellow kind of looks like green together, and that's an interesting effect. I think I'm going to keep it. Ooh, if we want to get a little asymmetrical, we could have this side do the same concept, but instead go in the opposite direction. That might look a little weird, but usually the weird stuff is what ends up looking pretty nice. Oh, it looks like I accidentally made this 14. I meant to make it 13. That just means it was the dimmer version. How's that for a weird effect? I like it. Let's keep it. So now, with the rainbow part, you can see it in full. You can hardly see it. Your brain can't really process it if you're watching it for the first time. Of course, since you're not expecting it, right? So I think it's a nice subtle effect. Clearly in the moment when you watch it 20 times over, you know what you're seeing, but when you watch it for the first time, just mixed in with the rest of the effects, you don't quite catch it, but you know something's going on. So I think it's nice and subtle. So now I'm on a dun it, because I did the dun it. What can we do here? I'm picturing something, so now I'm going to make it. That's how this works, right? So I draw this, 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 and then this. So it shoots out in a square pattern, something like this. So that's that. I might double its length. And then here, I'm going to do the same thing to this corner, like this. Maybe also double its length, just why not? And then at this point I can copy, paste, flip, drag this here, and so these this effect of it shooting out will happen in every corner, but offset. So they all fit a quarter of this allotted section. So it looks like this. And that's pretty much what I expected. So I'll leave it. I think it looks good. And then we can actually maybe do this. So we're left with a plus sign. Ah, how's that? I think that looks nice and fluid. I approve. I'm actually going to offset it all by this much. So the effect actually starts moving at exactly the quarter of the time it's given. I think that looks a little better. Okay, so let's make this that yellow color. So then we're left with this. Starting with that rainbow we made a little bit ago, we have this. I like it. I think it looks good. Okay, the way these disappeared in that order actually gave me an idea. I want to have a light that shoots up and moves across these, and then once it reaches this end, it's going to start here, and then repeat that pattern. So it'll look something like... Once I copy this, flip it, of course, up to here, it'll look like this. Well, right now it's yellow, so you can't tell what it's doing. So let's make this green, going into a different color. That's fine. Let's have it pick up right here. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, oops, I must have... There we go. Alright, so... So I like that effect, and I think I'm going to repeat it, and then every other time it's going to redraw in that plus sign. So like, check this out. And then I think at this end it can fade out. Maybe it can go reverse. That might look interesting. Let's drag this out. Oops, I accidentally deleted a note. Don't want that to happen. Okay, so let's drag that out, reverse this, shorten this, and then copy, paste right here, change the color, and let's see how this looks. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So then now, I think we're on our last effect. Not effect, but you know, last segment. Oh no. I forgot we still have this part. So, what do we have right now? Right. Actually, that effect I just made, I could probably do something like this with it. So I'm going to do a rainbow backwards, but it's making that snake pattern, right? You kind of see where I'm going with this, maybe? See how it sort of fits the music a little bit? So let's see how this looks. I'm going to change the color pattern a little bit. It looked a little kind of mudded down. It looked kind of not that good, a little ugly, in my opinion. So I'm gonna what if I do this? See how this looks. So I put a space in between these last two colors. think I'm going to do that one last time, and then I can leave this last note on, last light on. So now what do we do? That's a good question. I think maybe we can... Okay, so during the... So this effect, the sound, I mean. See how it kind of gets a pulsy vibe? Or rather, listen how it kind of... There feels like there's a pulse, there's a push, and then a little bit of a pullback. So from this effect, or this light, I'm sorry, when this light's on, I'm going to have it shoot across and then up, light up this diagonal. So it's going to go. And then when it kind of gets that pullback sensation, I'm going to have it, this diagonal collapse. And we'll just see how that works out, if that makes any sense. So let's start by drawing that in. So we have that. And then we keep that diagonal on. Okay. I think I'm going to want to do this. And then right here, I'm going to have it start collapsing. So something like this. Yeah, this is fine. I think that should do what I want. Let's check it out. Yeah, pretty much. So I'm what do I want to do? I think I just want to extend that a little bit. So maybe I want to have different colors. Let's start by changing these colors. So that's a nice green, or so, like a blue-green. Maybe this can start off with that color, but then it can change it to a different color. Let's try that. So it goes... I like that, but I don't think the colors fit for this segment necessarily. So let's try this. Yeah, okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna elongate this a little bit. Perfect. Ooh, I actually have a good effect I want to use for this one. I don't know if I've used this effect yet, this light show. I'm going to replay it from the beginning, out of curiosity. Okay, so it looks like I haven't made the effect that I want to make, which is good. So I can use it here. So all it's going to be is this light is going to shoot up and then down. This light's going to shoot up, but not as far. And then down. This light, same thing. And so on. And so forth. So each sequential light goes up one less light. One, not as far. That is what less means. But then when they come back down, they will light back up when... Oh, so these ones. So it'll look like this, and then I'm going to repeat it on the other side. Unfortunately, I can't just copy it and invert it, because that would make the effect here. It just wouldn't work, which is a bummer, but it doesn't take too long to draw in, so I'm not too concerned about it. Okay, so I got that. I need to do this one. If you've seen my light effect tutorial videos, I think I've made one called, I think I called it the whip, because it looks like it kind of has a whoosh kind of effect pattern to it. I don't know. So if you're familiar with any of those videos, then I think that's pretty much what this effect is. So what I just made was so all together it looks like which I kind of like. I think I'm going to make this first one I'll make it that blue color that we left off with, but then I think I'll make this second one dark blue. I think that might look nice. I might elongate this end a little bit. And I'm going to do that thing where I make it a little longer so you can, the blue pops out a little more. So this is what I just made. Oh. Yeah, so it's fine. So that's what I made. Cool. So now we're getting down to the final stretch. What do we have left? So I actually have an idea in mind. Crazy, right? As this blue light is coming down on this right column, it'll light up all of these lights. And then I'm going to have a light shoot out of here, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And so ultimately it'll look like, if I'm doing this right, it'll look sort of like an arrow shooting across from this right column. Which pretty much looks like what I made. That's what I was expecting, so that's good. And I think then what I'm going to do is I'll have this be a purple, but then it's going to light up this top row. If I'm doing this right, I think it'll be interesting. Unfortunately, I have some concerns that it might be going too fast. The effect might be too fast to understand what's happening. We'll see how it works out. And then I'm just going to repeat the pattern that I made. So I'm going to have this shoot down like so. And repeat that same arrow effect, but this time shooting downwards. Or at least that's my thought process. So Oops, that needs to be lined up. That was not lined up. Okay, so now I'm going to make this one, I think, pink. So let's see what we just made. Oh wow, one cool thing about what we just did is we can light up this column, this leftmost column, like so. And then we could copy paste invert to repeat that pattern. This just more or less saves us time. Like so. Currently the colors will be the same, which is fine, we can change that, but we'll see what the effect looks like. I really like that effect. That's actually awesome. So now I'm going to change this one that's purple to that darker pink. And I think I'm going to change this one into we could just do a red. And then I think for this one, we could have one. Hold on. We could have one effect that shoots up like this. I want to have it be this color. So like this. But it needs... Yeah, I think it needs to do that. Let's see what this looks like. It's pretty much what I wanted. Oh, but then this needs to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 long. Yeah. So it looks like this one's falling and moving up. And then I was hoping to repeat that pattern. So down here, make this one a nice 13, 2, 4, or sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know why I counted in twos there. Then this one gets flipped. This one goes like this. And copy paste. And it should look like this. So now we repeat again. Luckily, I think after we make this one, then we can just copy paste. Well, actually no, there'll be one reason why we can't, but that'll be fine. So let's make it like this. So now we have so I need to line this one up, looks like to here. Need to change this color. Okay. Need to extend this. Copy this here. Flip. I don't think I flipped it, did I? Flip. Drag here. Perfect. And then the pattern continues. like that, okay. I think now we could do this. Well, if that's the case, then we can do this, right? So this one's 33, so let's make this one 41. This one 45. And then this one 49. And that will make a rainbow effect. And then, only because I made it earlier, and I think it will look nice again, let's bring back this effect. This one. Okay, but over here, right? Oh, that's not the one I wanted. That's a bummer. Okay. So I want this one now. Got it. Got it. Jeez. So I want to do this. Right. Now we're in business. I think this will be the last effect. Oops. Let's do this. Move it here. I don't really want this bottom row to be lit up, so I can just get rid of that. Oops. Okay. Like this. And then we make a rainbow. I think. At least that's what I think will look nice for this kind of sound that I'm hearing. 49, 45, 41. Yeah, that's looking good so far. 37, 33, 29, 25, 21, 13, 9, 5. And I think I'm just going to copy and paste this. And then I'm going to actually do this thing where I'm going to paste this guy. Wait, hold on. So I'm going to copy paste this here. Why is it doing that? Oh, yeah, that's fine. And then get rid of them. I might do that here too. And so when it does that da-da-da-da, it kind of, it stutters. There's no light there, so kind of. And 37, 5. So I need. Okay, I'm gonna go undo some things so I can copy paste this. Oh, I didn't realize I missed that. That's fine. So, yeah. And then I can put those back in. Right. So now I can copy paste this guy in. So So, I think that's it. Let's check out what we made from the very beginning, so including stuff I made last time. And there we have it. I'm not really gonna work on this part yet. I set out what I wanted to do, which was to make the light effects for where? So here onwards. So the second half of this drop, which is what I intended to do in just about an hour. I mean, I don't know when I started recording. I thought it was around 9:30. It's about 10:30 now, so it took about an hour to make this second half, which makes sense, because it took me about an hour to make this half, which means we're pretty consistent. I'm pretty sure last time I said I would go back, maybe add in some side light effects and all that stuff, but I'm probably not going to do that this time. I'm cutting it close on the time that I allotted for myself, so I think I'm going to cut it for today's video. Like I said, I set out what I wanted to do, at least the very basics. No side lights yet, but that's fine. If you guys want, if you really like this series, I mean, I may pick it up. I have fun making these. I may, add in maybe this end bit. There's the entire beginning of this song I haven't even touched. Or maybe I'll just pick up a new song. Who knows? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. The videos I make are judged based off of the feedback I get when people ask if they want this or this or this. That's what I focus on, or at least I try to. So the power's in your hands. So don't let that go to waste. Anyways, I think that'll be it. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.